Excelsior, fellow marvelers! We are resuming Loki episode 4. And in case you're just joining us or you haven't watched the other parts of my live stream of episode 4, let me catch you up really quickly on what has happened in this fourth episode of this awesome new Marvel Cinematic Universe series. Alright, at the beginning, we were shown that a small kid, Lady Loki, has been picked up from Asgard and been brought inside the TVA for prosecution. Like we saw our own favorite Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston, coming in for processing, going through that entire rope lined aisle. But what she does is she kicks Ravonna Renslayer, the current leader of the Timekeepers, or rather the TVA, and escapes. And she is Sylvie, the Lady Loki who has been causing all this mischief and mayhem, and whom they have been chasing through timelines throughout this series. All right. So Loki and Lady Loki at the end of the third episode, Lamentis, were stuck on a moon that was about to be obliterated because of another planet or moon crashing into it. But they are saved by the TVA at the last moment because the TVA detects a huge Nexus event happening at that time. A Nexus event is something that is branching off from the sacred timeline that the Timekeepers had set up. If you haven't been watching this awesome Max series from the beginning, I suggest you check out all my live streams or check out the episodes on Disney Plus Hotstar in India and Disney Plus all over the world. So we are going to resume part 4 of episode 4 of Loki. All right then. Hunter B-15 and Lady Loki are in front of Roxxcart, where Lady Loki had been tracked by them and where she had sent all those reset charges back into the timeline at various places and carpet bombed the entire sacred timeline. Now let's see if B-15 wants to beat her up or ask her something. And she's asking her that when Lady Loki had taken control of her mind or enchanted her, what had she shown her? And Lady Loki says that she had shown her her own memories. So B-15 had memories before she was working for the TVA, and this is the plot point that is going to underlie the entire series from now on, the halfway point onwards. There are going to be 2 more episodes after this, and the Timekeepers have apparently been kidnapping variants and brainwashing them and erasing their memories to make them work as part of the Time Variance Authority. And it seems that Lady Loki is showing B-15 her memories of her life before her time as a Timekeeper Minuteman. And this is the same thing that had happened with C-20, the one from whom Lady Loki had gotten the information about the Timekeepers and the lift and whatnot. So let's see if they are going to team up and whether they are going to bring down the TVA from the inside. We are back into the TVA, and Mobius is walking around the aisles of the library, I'll call it, the storage place of all the files, the humongous amount of paperwork that the TVA seems to believe in. And he is firing up his tempad, which is kind of like a Nintendo Switch maybe, or like a DS. Either way, a very handheld, calculator-ish, retro tech device. So this is the kind of aesthetic that the designers have gone for this series, in which that TVA is kind of stuck in old times, as they say, becoming a mammoth in the time of humans causing global warming. But let's leave that aside for the moment and suspend our disbelief and immerse ourselves in this Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, so it's apparent that Mobius has found out that C-20, the Minuteman whom Lady Loki had shown her memories of her life before her TVA time, was saying that they all had lives before they were working as Timekeepers. Okay, So now this is the new setting and old partners, Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston, in that setting in which Lady Sif was beating up Loki for his misdeeds, which was cutting off her ponytail sometime in the past. All right. So let's see if Mobius, Loki, Sylvie, and B-15 can form a gang and bring down the TVA from the inside. Now it's time for them to make a plan. And Mobius has accepted that the Time Variance Authority is not really what it seems. It has been uncovered as the Timekeeper's ploy to keep all variants under their control and to destroy variants when they can or when they prove to be too dangerous. So I shall be included that in my 1 minute review, which is going to be up as soon as this episode ends. So if you've just managed to catch part 4 of episode 4 of Loki, then you can check out the previous parts and skip ahead to the 1 minute review that I will make after the episode is over. All right. Ravonna is waiting for Mobius and Loki to arrest them, and it seems that she has found out that they have found out. And Mobius throws back to a time in which she had just asked that where or which place or which time would he like to go to if he could go anywhere, anytime. And Mobius has been killed. Okay, that is a bit of a huge spoiler. So that is going to go in my 1 minute review as well. I might be running out of that minute, but I'm sure going to cover all the major points in that 1 minute review. So make sure you look at that once this episode is over. And if this is a permanent move, then it seems that Mobius's death is going to set Loki on this path to destroy the TVA once and for all, and for Sylvie and B-15 to team up with Loki and help him do that. So maybe by bringing down the TVA, Loki will be able to, you know, Loki will be able to destroy the TVA once and for all. And Lady Loki has been put back into the cell, and B-15 is somewhere in the timeline, somewhere in space and time, working out on their plan to destroy the TVA once and for all. Okay, so Sylvie is being taken down a corridor by Ravonna, and here we go. Both Sylvie and Loki are side by side. So Ravonna is in the middle. It's going to be quite the ride. I think Ravonna is taking them to meet the timekeepers. Yep, up they go in the elevators. And is this going to be an elevator conversation? It seems like it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to end this part 4 of episode 4 of Loki, just as Sylvie reminds Ravonna that she is the one who escaped from her grasp. See you in part 5.